Well, I'm joined now by comedian, funny guy, Todd Glass. How you doing?
How you doing?
Good.
We shake hands?
Yes. We can shake hands,
There
make
we
it
go.
official.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yes, yeah. This is like if you had ADD, this would be perfect for you, right?
Well, I have ADD, so it's like a lot of buttons and stuff.
Yes. So, how was the trip getting here?
It was good. I took a road trip.
Okay.
I took a road trip. They say it takes 6 hours. That's if you don't stop every 20 minutes when you see food. I'm like, turkey jerky, get off this exit, Bobby. I want to get some turkey jerky. Which does, you ever had turkey jerky?
No, never. How is that?
Pretty good. There's fish jerky, turkey jerky, and there's Turkish taffy. That's a whole other thing. But anyway, whatever. It was good. I love Tempe. It's a fun city. I prefer the cool weather.
Yeah. Well, you came at a great time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't mind. People go, oh, it's a little cool. I'm like, I'll take this over that gooky, sticky heat, you know?
Yeah, when it's just 1:15, it's just,
it's a little much.
Yeah, you can't get really
little much
yeah,
for me.
too anticipated for that. So tell me, you're going to be at Tempe Improv this weekend.
I'm going to be at Tempe Improv. It's a great club. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
It's great. It's about 450 seat club.
Okay.
We'll do 2 shows Friday, which is tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, which is Saturday, and then 1 show Sunday.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to drive home Sunday right after the show.
Oh, there you go.
In the car, straight back. I'm going to Uber back to LA.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Now tell me.
What do you want to know?
Yeah. Well, here's what I want to know. For a comedian, how long does it take you to like kind of get material for a set? How long does that
It's
usually?
none of your business. Well, it's a slow process. Like, you start writing material. And
Yeah.
then, for me, I always say if people come back and see me a year later, I'll have half new material.
Okay.
Not a whole new set, but
Yeah.
half new. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
good.
and how is it when you're trying to like judge the crowd and kind of get that feel for them?
Well, I think it changes. Like in the beginning of your career, you're nervous the crowds won't like you. But then as you get better, you're nervous you won't like the crowds.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're a little more confident. So, what was your question?
Well, just judging the crowd is hard, or is probably easier now that you've been doing it for a while.
It's a little easier, anything's the same, any profession, just confidence, knowing what
Yeah.
you're doing, preparation. Because, in the beginning of your career, people always go, oh, don't be nervous.
Yeah.
Really, they're empty words because you're nervous because you're not prepared usually. When you're prepared, you're anxious, but you're
True.
not nervous. When I
True.
go up on stage, I'm not nervous, I'm anxious. Hey. Anyway, look at this set. Does your audience know what we're here? Like where
No,
you're at?
they don't. Well, they know we're in a newsroom, but they don't see the outset.
It's like exactly what you would see in a movie. Like if there was a newsroom, there'd be like desks everywhere, people running around. Karen, send a van down to the roast beef factory. We're doing a live remote.
Yeah, it's exactly They could film a movie here.
So it's very exciting. And one guy sitting over there playing with wires. Anyway, and there's Wendy Williams up on a monitor.
Yeah.
And everything's going on. Look at this.
Yeah, and it's a really crazy day when all of them have the same, story
that's
on.
not a good thing.
That's not a good day.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not funny, but I like that Mr. Rogers. Someone told me something he said whenever there's like tragedy and you need to because there's a lot of evil in the world. But he said, look for the helpers.
That's true.
It reminds you how decent we can be as a species when we need it to hear it the most. So whenever you see tragedy going on, it doesn't erase it, of course, but look for the helpers. Look for those people that are helpers, and then we can, at the time when we need it the most, be reminded how decent we can be as a species, which we can be, very amazing and kind as species. So look for the helpers.
That's awesome. And
there
then
you go.
Especially though, what's going on with the world. We need comedy sometimes, right? For an outlet. I mean, just to kind of break it up a little.
It's always good to be able to get some good stand-up comedy. I always loved stand-up comedy, even before I did it, because I would go down. There was a place called the Comedy Works in Philadelphia.
Okay.
And literally, I would see acts like I was in high school. I was 17 years old. We would go see like guys like maybe Jerry Seinfeld, Jay Leno. Even then, they were sort of bigger acts. Jerry Seinfeld, Gary Shandling, Stephen Wright, Richard Lewis, Rich Hall, just Tim Allen, Roseanne Barr, Eddie Murphy.
Wow.
And I started seeing stand-up, and I loved it because it's a good stand-up comedian, usually for an hour, a good stand-up comedian for an hour is like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Movies don't a good comedy doesn't give you that many
No,
laughs when you
no,
go to theater.
no.
You know, you are hard laughs, not just like you know. So that's why stand-up comedy for me is enjoyable.
And it's so much different when you're in the audience too, as opposed to seeing it on TV. A stand. I mean, it's a
night and
total.
day.
Oh my gosh, it is.
It is night and day, because it's just like, you know, the way to explain that the best is just if you went to a concert. If you're home watching a great concert on television, you can enjoy it. You can get into the music. If you're having it on a big screen and you're watching a concert and loving it, but you're not going to stand up in your living room and evoke this energy out of you.
Yes.
Same thing with comedy. It's live is great.
And tell me, what's it like when you're on the road and going to all these different venues?
I love it. I love being on the road. I love. Sometimes I tour. Most of the time, I just do tour dates where you're flying to different cities and staying in hotels. I love hotels. I love the. You know what I like about hotels?
What?
I figured out. Well, I like things very organized and very clean, and at a hotel, you have less stuff.
True.
So it's the simplicity of just this perfectly clean room.
Yeah.
Sir, for the love of God. I'm just.
You heard it. Yeah.
What did you ask me?
We were talking about the hotels. How you?
Oh, the hotels.
Yeah.
And then sometimes my favorite way to travel, I don't do it all the time, is the tour bus, because the tour bus is just, it's no getting up in the morning to travel. You just while you're sleeping, even if it's 8-9 hours, the bus just driving through the night, plowing through that night air, and then you wake up and you're in Portland. You don't have to go to the airport. Yeah. So the tour bus, being on the tour bus with comedians is my favorite thing in the world. I've done a few tours with I've done them with a few guys. I've done one with Louis C.K. and David Cross. Did one with Sarah Silverman, Daniel Tosh, Mike Birbiglia, and it is a lot of fun.
Oh, I bet.
I want this.
Yeah, see?
You see all the news people.
Yeah, there
is
it is.
Yours?
No, that.
I better not
that is mine. Yep, that is mine.
It could have impetigo.
No.
I don't even know what that is, but it's a good word. Who's this guy right over here?
There's our guy.
How do I look? I look pretty good.
Yeah.
Got the jacket on.
Yeah,
I'm holding
You're
up.
styling and profiling.
Thank you.
Now you also have a book out as well.
I do have a book. It's called The Todd Glass Situation, and it's what's it about? I sort of, in my own little comedy community, about, I guess, 2 years ago, came out, which I hate that term. It sounds so flamboyant. Came out of the closet, but it's such a flamboyant term. Someone emailed me once because they knew I don't really have a trouble with that term. It just sounds like, but he goes, maybe you could say you busted out of the shed. It's got a little more grit to it.
Yeah.
So the book is that is a major part of the book, but it's also because I've been doing comedy a long time. I've been doing comedy 30 years.
Wow.
I started in high school, and so it's a lot of just stories from over the years, working with, almost every comedian that under the sun I've worked with. Some when they were 2 years into their comedy career, some later in life, touring with bands, like everybody from George Benson, the Righteous Brothers, old school bands used to use comedians to open up for them.
Okay.
That's why it's mostly the older bands. But and it's just my life, It's my life. It's called The Todd Glass Situation. So. And was
it pretty therapeutic putting that on paper and
it was. It really was. I didn't sit down to think I should write this book to figure out who I am, because I thought I already knew. But when you sit down and you put everything together, I had a ghostwriter, a guy named Jonathan Grotstein, and you start really figuring out who you are and why you are who you are without trying. I think if I went, I'm going to go to it, and try to figure it out, it would have been boring.
Sure.
But just me telling him stories, he would be like, oh, no wonder that's why you speak up for. Because one story I told him specifically, if ever I'm in a situation, and I'm not trying to say I'm a perfect human being, because I'm not, and I mess up and I steal towels from hotels, Mission Palms. Keep your eye on me. I cheat on my taxes. So, I'm not. And sometimes if they forget to charge me for something, at times I've said nothing. But I try to speak up for people's rights, and you can yell and scream for other people's rights, and you should. And so if I'm or someone just being treated like a human being, if I'm at a CVS or Walgreens and I see someone just being egregious to the person behind the counter, I step in. I don't yell. I don't mirror their behavior, but I'll be like, excuse me, no. You can't talk to that person like that. Someone was using some foul ethnic slang towards a person behind the register, and she went to bypassed me. I went, no. I'm not yelling. You're not. I don't care. I'll stand here calm all day. I will get in the way. You're not going to talk to him like this.
Yeah.
And I do that. It doesn't happen that often, but when it happens, I always get involved. And then when I started writing the book, I'm like, oh yeah, probably because when I was younger, and somebody said something, I wish somebody would have said something sometimes when somebody said something that was, hateful. So
it all comes full circle.
It all comes full circle.
Yeah.
It all comes full circle. So there's a reason. I go, that's why I speak up for somebody, because I knew how good it felt when somebody spoke up for me.
Absolutely.
Even when I wasn't honest about who I was, just someone that was saying something positive or anyway.
Well, I think that's really great now, because especially now I feel like more and more people have become maybe more silent. I mean, I think it has to do a lot with social media, where they'll talk all day on their Facebook page, but when it comes to real life, they'll be pretty calm.
I think people do both.
Yeah.
People try to do both, but definitely with social media it helps, because now people can have a voice. I think social media is great. I think it's a good, even though people can write negative things, it also people can be wonderful and write remarkable warm, kind things.
Sure.
So tweeting or whatever it is, yes, there are people that write negative things. And the reason I've even, by the way, I know I'm supposed to be a stand-up comedian. I'm getting so serious. But I think even the negative stuff that people write on Twitter is positive in a way, because it lets people know those people are still out there. Those people weren't bred out of social media. Those negative people, like when there was a Cheerios ad a few years ago where there was an interracial couple, you go on Twitter, there's a lot of people there that was like, oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Tweeting didn't breed those people. Being able to get on your internet and write stuff anonymously didn't breed those people. Those people existed. It was just a platform they liked for their hate.
Yeah.
But for people that forget that even as forward as we are as a society, and as much as we've made so much progression, there's still a lot of back-ass people, whatever that term is, out there, and prejudice or hateful or sexist people. And maybe the negative tweets remind people that because in their social circles they might not have those hateful people because they've surrounded themselves with nice people. Let's not forget, outside of your group, there's still those people that exist.
Sure.
Maybe the tweeting's a reminder of that.
Yeah.
Go on Twitter, and after that Cheerios ad, and the friend of mine said, he goes, look, same thing. He goes, we're a lot of progression in this world. There's a lot. We've come a long way. But go look at how people are reacting to that Cheerios ad. A stupid ad with a black guy and a white woman and an adorable child, and there's still people. So that reminds you what those people go through.
Wow.
Even in your social circles, you don't see it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So even the negative part of Twitter is positive, but overwhelmingly, Twitter is used for positive, wonderful. Social media is the best.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming up next year, it's going to be a big election. What do you think of some of the candidates out there, like Trump and?
I don't know. Trump is like.
Is he gold for you guys as comics?
I don't talk about him.
Okay.
I don't talk about him in my act because I don't. It's not cute, his little charade that he's doing. He really can annoy me. But I'm a Bernie Sanders guy.
There you go.
I'm a Bernie Sanders guy.
Okay.
Just something about him when he speaks. Everyone says we should make the nation great again. Oh, we're going to make the nation great again, insinuating that we have to go backwards to make it great. No, we have to go forward. So everyone else is saying we're going to make the nation great again. How about if we just make the nation greater than it's ever been and go forward?
I like that.
The greatness is ahead of us. It's not behind us.
That's good.
If you look at the history of this world, we never had to go backwards for progression ever. But yet the sector of society always thinks, oh, we need to go back to make it great like it used to be. No, we need to go forward and make it better than it used to be, not back to where it used to be, ahead where it should be.
Absolutely.
Bernie Sanders.
Now, tell me, last question. How has comedy changed throughout the years, or has it? I mean, you've been doing it for over 30 years.
I have been, geez. You know what, comedy, why am I yelling? What are you doing looking in your purse? What's this guy doing with the orange shirt? What's that woman doing with the camouflage? You know what you do? You walk up, you bump into people with camouflage clothing. You go, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you. Comedy, it always changes, just like fashion changes over the years. But there's great comedy. There's always great comedy, and there's always bad comedy. Nothing's different today. Matter of fact, in the last 5 to 10 years, I see a boatload of great new young comedians that are out there. Comedy's in a great place.
Nice.
And social media has helped a lot of that, and people can promote themselves differently than used to. So comedy is in an awesome place. Matter of fact, most people that think it isn't, it's just because they're not out looking at comedy. That's when the older people start going, there's no good music today. Are you out there looking at new bands?
Yeah.
I love when a 45-year-old guy says there's no good music, and I want to go, how many nights do you go to little places?
Yeah, little venues
that are hip. Do you go once a week? Do you go once a month? No, you haven't been out of the house. You've just decided that there's no good music, and it's not because you're out there looking at it. You've just decided that there's no good music.
Yeah.
There is good music. You just have to go. You have to go to the right places and see where there's new bands. Same thing with comedy. Comedy's in a great place, and blah 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 blah.
There you go. Well,
There you
awesome.
go.
Check them out. Todd Glass all this weekend at Tempe Improv.
Yes.
Take a look. Get some tickets.
Get some tickets.
Yeah.
I'm funny. I know I got a little serious today, folks, but it's all going to be good.
That's good. You got to break it down sometimes.
Got to break it down.
Thank you so much,
Camera
Todd.
too. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, go back. Are we back on?
Yeah, we're back on.
I'm trying. Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
Yes.
And I'm trying to let them. They couldn't put me in the movie, which is fine. So I said, can I just talk during the credits? I asked Steve Heffernan, Kevin. They're the two guys I know.
Yeah.
Steve Lemmy and Kevin Heffernan. Hope I'm saying their names right. I said, let me talk during the credits. So at the end of the movie, when the credits roll and they start coming down, just let me be next to them. Hey, everybody, I'm Todd Glass. I couldn't be in the movie. So I want to talk during the Super Trooper credits, Super Trooper 2 credits. And I'm fighting a fight of my life here creatively. So I'm asking people to tweet it. Anybody at Super Troopers, tweet at everybody. Let Todd Glass talk during the credits at, anybody at Super Troopers. I'm begging you. Tweet them 15 times a day. If you get blocked and you tweet it that you got blocked from them because you tweeted and all loving stuff, nothing mean, loving stuff. If you get blocked, I'll do something nice for you. I don't know.
There you go.
I won't do anything.
Do you have a hashtag going with that?
What was the hashtag we made it? We made it
Let Todd Glass talk during the credits.
Let Todd Glass talk during Super Troopers 2 credits.
There we
Let
go.
Todd Glass talk during Super Trooper 2 credits. Hashtag. I'm begging you out there. Go nuts with it. Thank you.
Now, what will you do? Just kind of like a little comedy set right there in there, or just
No, as the credits roll, I'll just sit next to it. Not live. We'll tape it, and I'll just be like, "Hey, everybody in the theater, don't leave the theater till the credits are over. Come on, we got you people did this movie. You want to watch all the credits? I'll start pointing out credits. I'll stop it. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I can.
Well, I hope you get it. I hope you
so,
get it,
too.
and join the campaign there.
Join
on
the
Twitter.
campaign.
Yeah.
Let Todd Glass talk during the Super Troopers 2 credits.
There you go. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
You'll be there all weekend. Tempe Improv.
All weekend.
Check them out.
Mm-hmm.